I'll give you the floor on the Washington Commanders sale and everything surrounding it.
Well, I would say I think it was Brockman there that said that this is worthy of a parade. I think it is. This guy is very well respected in NFL circles. He was actually previously vetted. He was a finalist for the Broncos, and obviously didn't wind up winning in that case. But somebody I think like NFL owners wanted as part of their club. He's been an owner before. He's a co-owner of the Sixers, owner of the Devils. So he's got experience and has sort of swam in these waters for some time now. And, I think you're right, too, Rich, to mention the possibility that this could open the door for the team itself to play its games in D.C. again. I know that RFK site has been one that's been one of much consternation, over the last, 10 years or so, and whether or not that would open up again for a football stadium. My understanding is that if the sale went through, that it probably would open up again. And so this could lead to the Commanders moving back into the District of Columbia. I think it changes the dynamic of who the team is. This could lead to a Super Bowl eventually being played in D.C. I'm sure some of your listeners are too young to remember it, but I know when I was growing up, Rich, the Redskins weren't quite the Yankees, right? But they were maybe the next level down. They were that level, of brand name, kind of flagship franchise of their sport. You know what I mean? Winning Super Bowls with 3 different quarterbacks when I was a kid. I think that this is a home run for the fans of the District of Columbia. I think this is the right owner. He's native to the area. He went to, I think he's from Chevy Chase, Maryland, went to high school in D.C. This is a game changer for what was one of the flagship franchises in the league 25 years ago. And I think the price is interesting too, because some of the concern from other owners was that Snyder wasn't going to sell because he wasn't going to be able to get his number. And his number initially was $7 billion. My understanding was that recently got lowered to $6.5 billion. That he's doing this for $6 billion, I think is gotta be create a huge sigh of relief for the other owners, because one thing about Josh Harris, he wasn't going to do a bad deal, and so he wasn't going to overreach. And I think that this is probably the right price for the team.
Well, and you're not wrong in terms of what this franchise once was. I mean, in the Gibbs era and winning 3 Super Bowls with 3 different quarterbacks, and I went to a game at the old RFK, a Cowboys Redskins game, and I sat 2 rows from the front, 2 rows in on the upper level of RFK over an end zone. You want to talk about an old stadium? I truly did feel it shake. If there was a ball thrown into the end zone, I had to get up and lean over the edge to see it because it was overhanging the end zone. Fans were, this is how long ago it was, fans were hanging Danny White in effigy in the parking lot because they hated the Cowboys so damn much. But then I went to FedEx Field and saw a game from the same seats because it was a season ticket holder. And 2 rows from the front of the top bowl of the stadium, I felt like I was watching the game from Delaware. And fans there just, I don't believe, have ever enjoyed the experience of going to the new stadium and being in the new stadium. That looked like the world's largest air bill, quite frankly, when you approached it. And
I was going to go erector set, but that works too.
Right, and then of course the owner and the way he conducted himself locally, and the radio stations that he owned, and the way that they would handle anybody who dissented, and things of that nature. And then of course the team kind of falls off from its winning ways. This is going to be monumental. I think fans are going to celebrate like the house just landed with Dorothy in it. You know what I mean?
And they should. And I don't think it's hyperbole to say that. I mean, Dan Snyder may have done more damage to that franchise than any single person has done to any franchise in modern American sports history. I mean, wow,
you got Donald Sterling. You're talking about. Be careful. I mean, you know.
I mean, but the Clippers were. But what were the Clippers before he got there? You know what I mean?
I see.
This was this was a. I guess you get your rarefied air of the Celtics and the Yankees and the Canadians and the Lakers, and they weren't quite that, but like again, like the next, like I would say maybe like the level of like the Dodgers, right? Like that level, like it's just I just where this franchise was. We've got a full generation now. I mean, kids now don't understand that, don't know what this franchise was, when he bought them in 1999 and what they had been. And, I think that there are a lot of people in the NFL that believe that's what they can be. Again, this is an important market. That was a regional team, too. I mean, like that was – you had fans in Virginia, North Carolina, and Tennessee, and obviously things have changed. There are teams in those areas now.
Yes.
But this is a powerful, powerful brand. And, I think the owners really wanted to have somebody there who could have a chance to revive that brand. And I think they believe that Josh Harris is the guy to do it. And, they were comfortable with, him buying. If the Waltons hadn't come along, I think the other owners would have been very comfortable with Josh Harris buying the Broncos last year. So I think they got to be overjoyed that not only do they have somebody like that, but a guy who's an area native, and has that sort of investment, just from an emotional standpoint to the area coming in.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.